The team has just received intriguing news about a free agent acquisition related to them. This matter will be analyzed, including the advantages, disadvantages, and implications for the draft if a trade in this area happens during the free agency window. It is crucial to discuss these developments and their potential impact. The exciting news was shared by several sources, and it is worth noting that this information was highlighted by sports media outlets. Reports suggest that the team is considered an ideal candidate to sign a former Defensive Player of the Year to fill the gap left by a recent departure. After a solid performance with his previous team, he had a reasonable season. That said, he remains capable and presents fewer uncertainties than other players still available in the free agent cornerback market. A team that decides to sign him may not be acquiring a Pro Bowl-level player at this stage in his career, but they will be gaining a reliable starter for the position. Furthermore, there are other reflections on this potential move, so it is prudently wise to avoid making hasty decisions at this moment. Moreover, the team should consider this signing possibility before the draft. They faced a setback with the departure of a starter to another team and have made limited efforts to cover the gap resulting from that departure. The mentioned player had an admirable performance in his last season, registering a notable pass rating against him in coverage. The 35-year-old cornerback played under a one-year contract with his former team, but predictions indicate that he will receive a lower-value contract for the upcoming season. If the price is right, he could provide the team with a starting-level cornerback while they seek a return to the playoffs in the upcoming season. What stands out in the potential transfer involving a renowned athlete is the vast experience he has. Over the course of his career, he has accumulated an impressive track record, spending 5 years with a Buffalo team, then 4 years with a New England team, and in the last 4 years, alternating between various franchises, including Carolina, Indianapolis, Dallas, and Minnesota. Throughout these 12 years, he not only gained valuable experience, but also managed to stay in good shape, recording an average of 959 plays per season. This is remarkable, especially when considering that 62% of those plays were dedicated to coverage. His record shows that he played in over 1,000 plays in 6 of the 12 seasons, demonstrating a strong combination of experience and health. It is worth noting that some athletes face more difficulties with injuries, while others maintain good physical condition. The organization has made some changes to the roster, likely aiming to move away from players they consider potential injury risks. In this context, the question arises about the decisions made regarding athletes like others mentioned. While the situation of a particular player is unique, it is important to emphasize that there were attempts to retain others, but these deals did not materialize. The main takeaway is that the athlete in question has shown great resilience throughout his extensive career in the league. He brings with him experience and an admirable physical condition, which is extremely valuable in the current landscape of the league. Based on available information, he is viewed as one of the top cornerbacks in the market, although specific details were not addressed in this analysis. An athlete who has managed to maintain a healthy professional trajectory in the National Football League for a considerable period is drawing attention. With his experience and favorable physical condition, he is considered one of the top defensive names available during this period. Although no specific comments have been made about him, it is clear that he stands out among the remaining options in free agency. It is worth noting that there are not many high-level athletes available, but he is positioned on a relevant list, ranking 73, if memory serves me right. Now, let's discuss some of the concerns related to this potential move, as you probably have your own views on the matter. It is reasonable to say that his best years are likely behind him, with his peak occurring around 2018 and 2019. It is hard to imagine that he will return to that level of performance. Over the course of his career, he stood out as a strong defender, but his most significant contributions happened during his time in New England and the early years of his career, which now seem like part of a distant past. The team appears to be looking for a younger roster, making this potential acquisition somewhat contradictory to its current strategy of trimming both expenses and the number of veteran players. However, it is crucial to incorporate experienced talents in various positions that need attention. I can imagine a scenario where they opt for a one-year contract with him, perhaps framing this as an opportunity since he is nearing his 35-year-old season. At this point in his career, the question remains whether this is really an opportunity or just a last chance. Regardless of this perspective, when considering the best defenders available in free agency to meet the team's needs, there are some younger options worth looking into. While there is potential for success with some of these free agent options, it is important to keep in mind the risks they may bring. In this context, a name frequently associated with the team is that of an athlete who had connections with the 49ers for a while, though it is unclear whether this connection was real or just speculation. Many rumors are circulating, making it difficult to validate what is true. I haven't heard any updates about this player in a while, so it seems like little is happening in that regard at the moment. One relevant point is that he is in his mid-20s and will likely demand a high salary. With players like Ronaldo Green and Damador Lenore on the roster, who may not be conventional defenders, making a significant investment becomes unfeasible. Thus, it seems that this player may be beyond their financial capabilities. Moving forward, there is another defender available, aside from Russell Douglas. Basically, there are no longer any defensive players among the top 100 free agents. Initially, there were 11, and now only 3 remain, with one out of budget and the other approaching his 35-year-old season. So what will be the next move? I'm curious to know your thoughts on what the team should do at the defensive position. Should they take the risk? The idea seems intriguing to me. If we can ignore the financial aspect for a moment, the team currently has considerable cap space. I like the idea of seeking a 1-year contract for a veteran in the upcoming season on defense. I'm not sure about this defender, but the idea appeals to me. I am really pondering this, weighing the pros and cons, and trying to convince myself otherwise, but I find myself being drawn back to this option. Share your thoughts on this situation. I find it quite interesting. However, according to a consensus based on updates from various sources, it seems that the team should opt for an offensive lineman in the first round of the draft. If they decide to go with one in this round, I won't. Think about the opinions expressed in the comments on this subject, as it's a rather interesting topic. According to information gathered from various sources, most believe the team should select an offensive lineman in the first round. If this happens, there may be some confusion on my part regarding the large number that appears on the screen. However, if they really choose a player from this position, there's a possibility that it will happen based on draft simulations, indicating the team addressing this need with the 11th pick. If this comes to fruition, I will be truly surprised, as I have my reasons for doubting, which I've already discussed, but deep down, I feel this scenario may not play out and the team will take a different path. I can't support the idea that they will select an offensive lineman. If they do, I'll have to consider whether it would frustrate me, but it seems that there is an abundance of talent available, and while the offensive line definitely needs improvements, the more urgent need is on the defensive line. Many players have been released, leaving basically just a few key figures, making action in this area necessary. The current roster lacks enough talent to be a starter on the defensive line. After that, attention shifts to the edge and quarterback positions, which have varied in priority throughout the offseason. This brings me to cornerback, especially a standout player, as I'm eager to hear opinions on the possibility of the team trying to draft a cornerback in the first or second round, someone expected to have an immediate impact on the opening game of the season. If they are considering such an early pick, it is essential that this player is ready to contribute from the start. It would be quite exciting if the team could land a cornerback with the potential to start, perhaps from a respected program or other promising prospects available. This would create a young dynamic with an up-and-coming talent on one side and whoever they choose on the other. If they manage to get a cornerback with the potential to be a starter, maybe someone from a strong program or other available options, it would be interesting to see a young duo on the field. There's also a young player emerging as a leader on this team, along with another veteran presence. This individual is undoubtedly becoming a significant figure on the roster. There is certainly some excitement surrounding this possibility. Now, considering what the team might do if they are looking for a quarterback, let's analyze the situation. A possible candidate seems to be available with the 11th pick, according to the latest reports. There has also been considerable discussion about another intriguing prospect. There are definitely options, but what happens if they decide not to select a cornerback? If the team opts for a veteran, There are suggestions from several analysts highlighting defensive players that should be on their priority list during the draft, especially in the first round if they feel they don't need a quarterback. One suggestion is to aim for a linebacker who is considered one of the top prospects. If you're not up to speed on the recent news, this player recently underwent surgery. While I consider him one of the best linebackers available, there are concerns about his readiness to start the season. It was a significant surgery, and while I'm not a health professional, the recovery time is uncertain. If the team is looking to strengthen their edge line and replace a key player, aiming to solidify that position opposite another standout during one of his final standout seasons, there are recommendations to consider a defensive end from a renowned program. This choice also seems appealing to me. He led college football in sacks, weighing about 250 pounds and standing at an impressive height, with an exceptional pass rush success rate. Let's clarify this critical position regarding a standout player, especially while he is still in the final phase of his peak seasons. There is an expectation surrounding the selection of a defender from Marshall, a viable option due to his impressive statistics. Measuring 6 feet 3 inches and weighing 250 pounds, he led the Football Bowl subdivision in sacks and had a 20% pass rush rate, demonstrating his effectiveness in stopping the run, receiving a 90.2 rating in run defense last year. Therefore, there is undoubtedly much to admire. Another consideration that arises is whether the team should focus on the tackle position. A notable player has been drawing attention, and many may share in this excitement. The suggestion is that the team select an athlete from Mississippi who stands out with 6 feet 4 inches and a weight of 300 pounds, a versatile tackle ranked among the top in both pass rush success rate and run stop rate. He is a complete player and is believed to fit perfectly, regardless of how the defense will be shaped this year. If there are plans to implement some changes or new approaches, choosing this tackle would be a robust decision. He has already played as a nose tackle, which allows him to adapt to various roles along the line, meeting any demands that may arise. What do you think about what the team should do? It would be interesting to hear your perspective, considering they might trade down. Given the impressive depth in the positions that need reinforcement, there's definitely a scenario where this could turn out very well, and they could really take advantage of this opportunity. There are 32 days left until the big day, and the anticipation is high. This will be an exciting moment, so it's good to stay informed. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to 49ers Zone and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the San Francisco 49ers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The San Francisco 49ers have long been a powerhouse in the NFL, and their latest pursuit of wide receiver Kupp has taken the league by storm. After a stellar 2021 season, where Kupp shattered records and earned MVP honors at Super Bowl 56, the 49ers' interest in adding the prolific receiver to their roster is raising eyebrows across the football world. Despite Kupp's recent setbacks with injuries in 2023, his consistent performance, when healthy, has kept him firmly in the spotlight as one of the league's most dangerous weapons. His connection with the ball and ability to elevate any offense is undeniable, making him an ideal addition to the 49ers' high-powered attack. The 49ers, known for their ability to develop and maximize talent, see Kupp as the perfect complement to their already potent offense. With quarterback Brock Purdy leading the charge and weapons like Deebo Samuel and George Kittle already in the mix, adding Kupp could potentially create an unstoppable force in the NFC. San Francisco has been aggressive in their pursuit of the receiver, reportedly offering significant trade packages to the Los Angeles Rams before Kupp was ultimately released. As the Rams signal a rebuilding phase, the 49ers' move to acquire Kupp makes it clear they are preparing for another Super Bowl run, adding depth and firepower to their wide receiver core. But the question remains, can Kupp stay healthy and return to his dominant form? While his injury history is concerning, the 49ers are betting on Kupp's ability to shake off the setbacks and return to his 2021 level. With the team already on the brink of greatness, adding Kupp could very well be the final piece that propels them back to championship contention. As the 2025 offseason unfolds, All eyes are on San Francisco as they look to finalize one of the most talked about moves in recent NFL history. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the San Francisco 49ers, make sure to subscribe to 49ers Zone and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.